webinar on Australia, my first training, my first webinar. And when I saw the presentation yesterday, I have to say to you, I was fascinated and couldn't stop looking through everything that there is to do, all the nature, the beauty. I'm not going to give it all away because I should just stop because I know you're going to present it now. But truly, I was so impressed and just so excited to see everything. I'm taking us live to Facebook. So you've got a side view of me. I don't know. I'm not a celebrity, so I don't know if that's my good side or that's my good side.
They're all good sides, Sabrina.
You could tell
They're
me
all
in the
good sides.
chat. Okay, good. So it's Sabrina with Spoiled Agent. Welcome. We're live on Facebook. Thanks everyone for joining us from across the US of A. I am here today with Mel Schinkel. She's the Aussie Specialist Program Team Leader. So this is like the person who knows any questions that you have, all of them, you're going to be dealing with the absolute pro and expert. Now, of course, we're going to be recording our session as always, but if you have any questions after the presentation, we're going to go through those with you. So the Q&A box is right there. And then there's the chat box, of course, for fun comments like hello from Santa Barbara. So you're also in the US. Welcome, Meg. How are you? How are you doing, Mel?
I'm doing great. Yeah, so I'm originally from the Gold Coast in Australia, but I'm based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So yeah, welcome and g'day to all of the spoiled agents that we've got on the live on Facebook today. Very exciting.
Yes, and can't believe that we are so lucky not only to see such a gorgeous destination, but who else is swooning over her voice? Wow, your voice is so beautiful and your accent. It's not every day. I do live in a snowy ski place, so when we go skiing here, it's full of Aussies and we get to hear the beautiful accent.
Absolutely. Yes. I forget I have one. I'm surrounded by Americans. So I worry that I start to lose my accent, but I don't think I have yet.
You've
Might
still
be a few
got
more
it.
years.
You've still got it. Well, fantastic. Without further ado, Mel, we will let you get started and take it away.
Absolutely. Let me just share my screen here and we will get this show on the road, as they say in the industry. All right. So, g'day to everyone today. Thanks for joining me. And I'm delighted to give you some introductory training on Australia, explain why you need to become an Aussie specialist, and what Tourism Australia resources are available to you to assist you in selling Australia to your clients. So, as Sabrina said, if you do have any questions, do pop those in the Q&A box and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. So I'm Mel Schinkel, Aussie Specialist Program Team Leader for Tourism Australia. I look after Australia training for both American and Canadian advisors. As I said, I'm based in Las Vegas, but you're welcome to reach out to me anytime should you have questions about the Aussie Specialist training or just Australia in general. But before we launch into it, I would like to acknowledge the traditional Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander owners of the land, sea, and waters of the Australian continent and recognise their custodianship of culture and country for over 60,000 years. I also acknowledge the numerous Native American tribes and First Nations people from wherever you are joining us from today. Now, Australia's borders are wide open again, and we're inviting the world to come and say g'day with the help of our brand new brand ambassador, Ruby the kangaroo. Let's meet Ruby. G'day, Ruby. Isn't she adorbs? So Tourism Australia did release a really cool animated short film called G'day, starring Ruby the kangaroo and Louie the unicorn. Now you can watch and share the 9-minute version for free on Australia's YouTube channel, but I thought we could take a little sneak peek today.
Got a beautiful day to go snorkeling. You guys been out to the Great Barrier Reef before?
The Great Barrier Reef? Huh?
Here we are.
G'day.
Where am I?
Australia. And you look like you need a holiday.
Show us what you got.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Sydney Opera House.
It's remarkable.
Yep, it's amazing. Whoa!
I love it. What is it?
A wombat.
Me too.
Come on!
G'day, mate.
Hear that? We're mates.
Woohoo! Jump!
G'day, my name is Freddie.
Wow, there's nothing like Australia.
Special, huh?
It would make a great movie.
So what are you waiting for? Come and say g'day.
Couldn't have said it better, Roseburn. What are you waiting for? Come and say g'day. So G'day actually won the best short animation at the 2023
So
LA Film
sorry.
Festival.
Now,
So-
I'm so sorry. Your video sound is still continued. Actually, it has not. Apologies.
It's finished now. It's all good.
It had. Now we're good. We're good to go.
Okay,
Apologies.
perfect. No, that's fine. That's fine. Sing out anytime there's a little bit of a delay there, and I'll just hold off.
I'll be right here.
Perfect. So yeah, the short film won Best Short Animation at the LA Film Festival. So do check it out and share it with your clients because they will get super excited about going down to Australia. Now, Australia is open to all travelers and no longer requires proof of vaccination. However, some air and cruise operators may still require mask wearing and proof of vaccination to travel. So do just check with those operators. Now, our national air carrier, Qantas, they do not require passengers to be vaccinated. So that's a good one to know. Now, all travelers need to do to visit Australia is fill in the Electronic Travel Authorization, the ETA, before departure via the mobile app, which is only available on the Apple and Google Play stores. So I must stress it's not available online and it's not available on the GDS, only via the mobile apps. Now, the Australian ETA costs around 20 Australian dollars. So what's that? Maybe 14, 13 US dollars, very cheap. If filled in correctly, approval is automatic and your client will receive a confirmation email. Now, if you do have clients that have criminal convictions, they must apply for a different type of visa. It's called a subclass 600 visitor visa. And that one can be applied for online via the Australia Department of Home Affairs website. Now, that visa can take up to a month to process, and it is a little more expensive. I think that one's around $150 Australian, that is. All right, so let's look at getting to Australia. So we have a number of direct flights from the USA and Canada to Australia. So the land of koalas and kangaroos is closer than it's ever been before. Travelers can choose from a wide range of airlines that fly non-stop from the USA and Canada, including Qantas, Delta, United, American Airlines, and Air Canada. Carriers that fly via their hubs to Australia include Hawaiian Airlines, Fiji Airways, and New Zealand, as well as some of the Middle Eastern airlines. Direct services typically depart from the west coast of the USA and Canada, as well as Texas. So that will be from Dallas-Fort Worth and Houston. They depart to the East Coast, from the East Coast capitals to Australia, which is Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. And then there is really easy connections to other cities around Australia from there. For those clients traveling from New York, Air New Zealand and Qantas operate out of JFK, non-stop to Auckland with an easy transit to numerous Australian cities from there. And stand by for news regarding non-stop services from New York to Sydney with Qantas in 2025. So that is Project Sunrise. Do visit the Qantas website if you want to find out more about that one. Now, Australia is big. In fact, I like to demonstrate just how big it is by comparing it to the United States. Australia is almost the same size as the USA, but with a population of, 26 million versus 335 million. So we have a lot of wide open spaces and not a lot of overcrowding. The distance between Sydney and Perth is like the distance between New York and Los Angeles, approximately 5 to 6 hours flying time from one side of the country, East Coast to West Coast. It is worth bearing that in mind when recommending an itinerary to your clients. 10 days to 14 days is the ideal amount of time to see a combination of 3 places well. So it's like sending your client to Europe. You can't fit all of Europe into a 2-week itinerary, and Australia is exactly the same. Like the USA, Australia is a big place with such a broad range of climates that you can almost do anything there at any time of year. Australia's weather patterns fall across 4 seasons in most of the country and 2 seasons, wet and dry, in the tropical north. The Tropic of Capricorn roughly traverses the top third of the Australian continent, so you consider most of that region above this the tropics. Unlike other continents, Australia doesn't experience extreme seasonal variations. However, summer gets very hot in the north and across the outback, and in winter, some mountainous areas receive snow. During the tropical north's wet season, sometimes referred to as the green season or tropical summer, you can expect very hot and humid weather with the potential for tropical storms. Unlike the USA with its many states and cities, Australia only has 6 states and 2 territories, each with its own capital city. The main air gateways to Australia from the USA are Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. It takes about 15 hours to fly direct to Sydney from Los Angeles or San Francisco, around 19 hours from Houston in Texas. Now, before we dive into why Australia is one of the most desired destinations on Earth, let's do a bit of myth busting. So Australia is a place that many people, in fact, most people want to visit, but often there's a reason why they're holding back and not turning that dream into a reality. It's time to dispel some of those myths. So let's discuss some of the ways you could address some common barriers and turn that desire to visit into an actual experience they will never forget. I'm worried about the long flight. Australia is actually closer than many people assume. A flight from the west coast of the USA to the east coast of Australia is comparable with flights from Atlanta to Johannesburg, San Francisco to Singapore, New York to Dubai, and LA to Rome. As many flights depart at night, travelers can board their plane, have some dinner, and maybe a glass or 2 of delicious Australian wine, and then settle in for a couple of movies or binge watch a series they've been meaning to watch before getting some shut-eye. Before they know it, it's time for breakfast and arrival into Australia. Flights that depart at night will arrive 2 days later, early in the morning. But don't be fooled by the date change. It doesn't take 2 days to fly to Australia. During the night, the aircraft crosses the international date line, therefore skipping a day. But you get that day back arriving a day earlier when returning back to the United States. Also, many airlines utilize their larger and more modern aircraft on their Australian routes. So traveling down under has never been more comfortable than it is today. I don't have enough vacation time. Some travelers assume you need to have a large amount of vacation time to even consider a trip to Australia. Now, in reality, you can experience Australia in a short amount of time. I would recommend no less than a 10 to 14 day vacation, because that's a good amount of time to allow visitors to experience a few key locations at a leisurely pace. I mean, they're on vacation after all. We don't want to be rushing around like crazy. Did you know that approximately 62% of visitors to Australia will make a return visit? The next time they come down under, they could visit a few more locations. It's about educating your clients. It's not practical to see the whole country in one trip. Can you imagine trying to see the entire United States during one trip? It would take months. Now, It's the same with Australia. So you have your Australia on-site, DMC or wholesaler will have some ideas on crafting the perfect Australian itinerary, no matter the duration, whether it be a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, or a month. They will be able to help you with putting that itinerary together. A trip to Australia is going to cost a lot. A trip to Australia need not cost a fortune. Of course, costs can vary depending on your client's travel preferences and their budget. It's worth remembering that many of the best experiences in Australia are absolutely free. From seeing a roo in the wild for the first time to enjoying many of our Aussie beaches. The quality of the accommodation and experiences is also very high in Australia, ensuring great value for money. Now, let's not forget about the favorable exchange rate right now. Currently, $1 buys 1.5 Aussie dollars. So it really is an affordable destination relative to other Western countries. So now that we've helped your client overcome that hesitation in booking an incredible Australian adventure, now you can give them some reasons why there's nothing like Australia. And research shows these are the reasons why international visitors love Australia, and we know your clients will too. Firstly, there is nothing like Australia's unusual wildlife. Australia is home to one-of-a-kind animals found nowhere else on the planet, from iconic kangaroos and koalas to echidnas and emus. Spotting a native animal in the wild is just one of the many unforgettable wildlife experiences in Australia. To see wildlife, we're going to start in the state of South Australia on Kangaroo Island. Kangaroo Island is a nature lover's paradise with prolific native wildlife, dramatic coastal sightseeing, and bountiful farmlands. Just 8 miles off the coast of South Australia, it is one of the best places in Australia to see wild animals like koalas, kangaroos, sea lions, and seals. Next to the state of Victoria. Now, Phillip Island is famous for the daily penguin parade, which allows visitors to catch a glimpse of the island's native little penguins as they come back ashore after a long day of fishing. It's a hard life for those penguins. Send your clients to Summerland Beach for a 180-degree viewing of the parade, or take a VIP guided tour. Next to our largest state, Western Australia, which takes up nearly a third of the Australian continent. Located just 12 miles off the coast of Perth, Rottnest Island's tranquil setting will take your client's breath away. Rotto, as the locals call it, is a protected nature reserve boasting an abundance of unique flora and fauna, including spectacular marine life and the island's most famous resident, the adorable quokka, who absolutely loves to take selfies with visitors. He's just a complete camera hog, these quokkas. They love it. So your clients will discover rich cultural heritage, explore white sand beaches, and swim and snorkel in pristine waters, all in this little pocket of paradise. Next to the state of Queensland, which is where I'm from, to visit the only living organism that can be seen from space. You've got it, it's the Great Barrier Reef. At 1,430 miles, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef system in the world. It's home to over 1,600 species of fish, 411 species of hard coral, and 150 species of soft coral, more than 30 species of whales and dolphins, and 6 of the world's 7 species of marine turtles. That's a lot of wildlife going on. Whether your clients snorkel, scuba, or view this underwater playground from a glass-bottom boat, tell them to keep track of their progress as they attempt to identify the reef's Great 8. So that's manta rays, whales, turtles, clownfish, yes, Finding Nemo, potato cod, giant clams, Maori race, and reef sharks. Now, there is nothing like Australia's Indigenous culture, spanning over 60,000 years. An Indigenous experience offers the unique opportunity to connect with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures, gaining insight into Australia's history and traditions, and the important role they play in shaping the country's identity. From Indigenous-led tours to contemporary performances and exhibitions, there are hundreds of unique and unexpected ways to experience the oldest living culture on Earth. We're going to start in the Northern Territory's top end. The World Heritage listed Kakadu National Park is Australia's biggest national park. Clients will find rugged escarpments, lush rainforests, and rock art galleries up to 20,000 years old. Learn about Aboriginal culture from traditional owners, take in thundering waterfalls, and witness millions of migratory birds among the wetlands. Arnhem Land, also in the top end, is a vast, unspoilt wilderness area with deep ties to Australia's Aboriginal peoples. Arnhem Land is wild, spiritual, and diverse. There are endless coastlines, remote islands, lush rainforests, and savanna woodlands. A trip here will ignite your client's curiosity as they get to know the traditional custodians of Arnhem Land, the Yolngu people, on fishing expeditions, outback safaris, and cultural tours. Now we're going to go back up to Queensland in Cairns to visit the Daintree National Park. The Daintree Rainforest, about 2 hours north of Cairns, is just in a word, absolutely breathtaking. The World Heritage listed site is home to the Kuku-Yalanji people, known as the true rainforest people. To the Kuku-Yalanji people, the rainforest is more than trees and vines. Contained within its canopy are traditional medicines, delicious native foods, and sacred stories. So if you're going to the Cairns to see the Great Barrier Reef, you definitely need to stop by and see the Daintree rainforest, one of the oldest rainforests on the planet. Next stop is the iconic city of Sydney in the state of New South Wales. The importance of Aboriginal culture in Sydney and the rest of Australia just can't be understated. Our First Nations people have the world's oldest continuous living culture, a history created over millennia. And in Sydney, clients can build a real connection to that culture through the rock art found in our national parks, tours led by elders who share insights into the city's history and sacred sites, and galleries where Aboriginal art rightfully takes centre stage. This picture is of Auntie Margaret, who founded Dreamtime Southern X. They offer a fantastic 90-minute Rocks Aboriginal Dreaming Tour, which is the perfect introduction to Aboriginal culture, showing a perspective of Sydney that is touching, enlightening, and really informative. One thing is for sure, your clients do not want to be on a diet when visiting Australia. Serving up produce fresh from farm and sea, Australia's thriving food and drink scene is underpinned by award-winning winemakers, distillers, and multicultural chefs. The spectacular dining locations where clients can savor innovative flavors are incomparable. First stop, and you're not going to be surprised by this, is the capital city of Victoria, Melbourne. Melbourne is Australia's mecca for all things trendy and tasty. The city offers up exquisite dining, exhilarating sport, and abundant opportunities to experience art. A perfect blend of rich cultural history and new age trends is waiting for your clients in Melbourne. As the sun goes down, the city comes to life with a vibrant dining scene, as well as events and exhibitions. Clients can explore its bustling laneways, trendy neighborhoods, and sophisticated foodie scene to get a taste of what Melbourne is all about. Next stop, we're going back to Sydney in the state of New South Wales. Sydney is without a doubt one of the world's great food cities. You can dine at three-hatted restaurants where the chef is as big a star as the food, or chow down on authentic Asian cuisine in a food hall and have change left from $20. Sip cocktails made by the globe's best mixologists in a hidden bar, or enjoy a cold beer in a neighborhood pub where everyone's your new best mate. Your clients' taste buds will be eternally grateful for a visit to Sydney. Next stop is Uluru, also known as the Red Centre in the Northern Territory. The Red Centre isn't just phenomenal in daylight. Come nightfall, the outback sky reveals the wonders of the galaxy. Clients can soak up the stars over a bush tucker dinner, complete with Dreamtime stories and a breathtaking backdrop of Uluru. A bush tucker inspired buffet showcases ingredients like crocodile, kangaroo, barramundi, and for dessert, kwangdong, apple crumble, and dessert lime and macadamia cheesecake. Yum. It's not time for dessert, but now I want dessert. Now, did you know Australia is home to some of the world's oldest vines and has over 60 wine regions that produce more than 100 different grape varieties? So if you're a wine lover, Australia is your destination. This map shows all of Australia's most renowned wine regions, and you'll see there's quite a cluster in Victoria, Tasmania, and Adelaide. But first, we're going to focus on the Barossa Valley in South Australia. The Barossa is one of the world's great wine producing areas, boasting more than 150 wineries and 80 cellar doors. In fact, it's home to the world's oldest continuously producing Shiraz, Grenache, Matario, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Semillon vines. When clients are not sipping the region's top drops, they can admire the vines from a hot air balloon, dine at renowned restaurants, and explore nearby villages and national parks. There's nothing like Australia's natural beauty, and we have plenty of wide open spaces to explore. Australia is a diverse land of ancient landscapes, wild wilderness, and natural beauty. From unique World Heritage sites, desert outback, mountain ranges, and rainforests, this unique land will absolutely take your client's breath away. First stop is the state of Tasmania, right down the bottom there. Tasmania's natural beauty abounds around every corner, and thanks to its compact size, it's easy to see a good portion of it by travelling just outside the capital city of Hobart. It's also a wildlife haven, so wherever your clients travel, they're likely to spot wombats, pademelons, Tasmanian devils, and wallabies. It's a fantastic self-drive destination if you have clients that love to explore via driving. Next is the stunning Blue Mountains in the state of New South Wales. The Blue Mountains is best known for its soaring sandstone ridges blanketed in native bushland. Nestled within the wilderness lie charming mountain towns, ancient Aboriginal rock art, and the iconic tourist attraction of Scenic World. Clients will be enchanted by the natural beauty when they set out to explore the walking tracks that loop around the verdant valleys and cliffs. They will find after dark excitement spotting glowworms in an underground cave or indulging in a touch of luxury at a wilderness retreat. Next, we're heading back to the state of Victoria. Clients can experience the rugged beauty along the southwest coast of Victoria by setting off along one of the world's most scenic coastal drives. The spectacular Great Ocean Road hugs the seaside cliffs that snake along the wild and windswept Southern Ocean. The striking vistas along the iconic road evoke awe with cliffs, empty beaches, and soaring bluffs, flanked by brilliant green countryside. Add epic surf, nature wildlife, unforgettable hiking and biking trails. Plus, your clients will find plenty of other things to see and do around every curve. Now, let's go to the top of the state of Western Australia. Roughly the same size as California, and with a population of less than 40,000 people, The Kimberley region, spread over Australia's entire northwestern corner, is one of the world's last wilderness frontiers. Here, your clients will find prolific wildlife, majestic canyons, freshwater swimming holes, and several outback stations, as well as one of Australia's greatest four-wheel drive road trips. Despite the area's remoteness, it's also a place of great food, luxury accommodation, friendly locals, and one of the most romantic beach towns on earth, Broome, which is home to gorgeous Cable Beach. Now, let's not forget Australia's modern cities, which Australians themselves absolutely love to explore. Encourage your clients to make like the locals and seek out boutique shopping strips of local designers, discover small bars hidden down laneways, or learn from an Aboriginal guide on an urban cultural experience. Sydney is home to must-visit icons like the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Opera House, but this harbour city is constantly evolving. New rooftop bars, theatre shows, and designer shops pop up at every turn, and the urban excitement is perfectly balanced by afternoons spent lying on the golden sand at Bondi Beach. Of course, there's Melbourne, which we already covered earlier, and Brisbane, a city that I've spent a lot of my time growing up in, and it really lives up to its sunny potential with a strong focus on the outdoors. So think alfresco dining, picnics by the river, islands just off the coast, and national parks. Add to this a dynamic cultural precinct, abundant wildlife, and easy access to nearby icons like the Gold Coast and Great Barrier Reef, and you've got a destination you just can't say no to. Finally, let's not forget about another major selling point, Australians. Aussies are awesome and known around the world for their welcoming nature and adventurous spirit. The Aussie lifestyle and its locals are down to earth, laid back, and optimistic. And that invitation to come and say good day is truly genuine. Now let's look at a couple of itineraries that are perfect for a minimum 10 to 14-day visit to Australia. Now, the majority of first-time visitors to Australia want to see the icons. We refer to this as the Sydney Rock and Reef itinerary, and it covers the city of Sydney in New South Wales, Uluru and the Outback in the Northern Territory, plus the Great Barrier Reef and Daintree Rainforest in Queensland. This itinerary is a little bit more off the beaten path and is perfect for a second-time visit to Australia. The focus here is on wildlife, adventure, food, and wine. And this itinerary covers the cities of Melbourne in Victoria, Adelaide in South Australia, and the island state of Tasmania. So how is Tourism Australia helping you to sell this amazing destination? We have our signature experiences of Australia. This is a carefully curated selection of Australia's most outstanding holiday experiences that represent the very essence of the country, including luxury lodges of Australia, great walks of Australia, ultimate winery experiences, and Australian wildlife journeys, just to name a few. There are 8 collectives representing 180 tourism businesses offering a qualified inventory of over 700 fully commissionable tourism experiences that can be booked directly via your preferred wholesaler, DMC, or seller. All these experiences are endorsed by us, Tourism Australia, so you can rest assured your clients are getting the very best of what Australia has to offer. But I've been rambling on for a while. Let's have a look at some great imagery in this video that captures what Signature Experiences is all about.
Life has drawn you here. Feel the warmth pulling you near. Breathe it in and let it fill your heart. It's like love. Cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in your lungs, will stay. You've seen it all before, till you found something more. Breathe it in and let it fill your heart. It's like love, yeah. Cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in your lungs, will stay. For the first time, it all makes sense, you know. Yeah, you know. It's like love, cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in, your lungs will stay. It's like love. For the first time, it'll all make sense. You know it. It's like love. Cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Feel it in your lungs will stay.
Wow, I always get a little homesick when I see that video. It's so beautiful, so much wonderful landscape and nature and wildlife to experience down under. So we have a Signature Experiences of Australia portal, and you can visit here at signatureexperiences.australia.com. And this portal allows you to search for any of the 700 plus experiences offered by these collectives. There is our always on platform, Australia 365 On Demand, which now has an industry offers menu. So this site is your go-to when it comes to FOCs, special advisor rates, and designing your own fam trips. So do sign up and have a look at those offers. Currently, 79 operators have industry offers on their profiles. You can also use this site just to search and review over 500 Australian industry company listings, including biography information, product updates, contacts, brand assets, and social media links. So it really is just a fantastic resource to tap into. Also, we have our brand new travel trade hub, and this is where you can access Tourism Australia brand resources to download, including images, videos, logos, media kits, itineraries. There's a whole stack in there. So what else can you do? I mean, to get Australia into your clients' diary, learn more, create those itineraries for your clients. What else can you do? I have the answer. Simple. You complete our multi-award-winning Aussie Specialist program. The Aussie Specialist program is a free self-paced learning platform designed specifically to assist travel advisors in selling Australia to their clients. All you need to do is register on aussiespecialist.com, complete the 90-minute Introduction to Australia curriculum to get started. Becoming an Aussie Specialist will give you access to destination guides, popular itineraries, and interactive maps. Plus, you will earn rewards, badges, and points to spend in our rewards store. You'll also receive invitations to Aussie Specialist webinars, special events in your area, and fam trips to Australia. We only take Aussie Specialists on our fam trips to Australia. So if you want a chance to come down to Australia with us, you need to become an Aussie Specialist. So what are some of the benefits of becoming an Aussie Specialist? Well, as I said, Australia is consistently voted as one of the most desired destinations on earth. So why not improve your knowledge and send more clients to Australia? Plus, advisors sell 35% higher value bookings to Australia after qualifying as an Aussie Specialist. Repeat visitation to Australia is quite high. In fact, 62% of leisure travellers return to Australia within just 5 years of their first visit. So why not increase your commission and those repeat travel bookings? You'll benefit from it and your clients will absolutely adore you for it. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's hear from our Aussie Specialist Ambassador from Live Well Travel, Amanda Kelly.
A great thing about being an Aussie Specialist is that you have access to monthly webinars, which keeps you up to date on all of the different areas that are trending in Australia, giving you great new tips and tricks about what to expect and how you can better share that with your clients as well. The monthly newsletters are actually great because they give you access to new products that are trending within Australia. You have access to all the fam trips that are happening and even local events that are happening in your area. There are hundreds of fact sheets that allow you to be that professional, that you can speak knowledgeably to your clients to share with them what Australia has to offer. And all of those things are at your fingertips right online as part of being an Aussie Specialist. I would say one of the best benefits of being an Aussie Specialist is that you have access to the travel club, which allows you personal benefits to be able to get discounted rates on travel to Australia, so you can actually come and experience this wonderful country for yourself. Become an Aussie Specialist and you'll have access to an abundance of benefits, and you may just have an opportunity to visit Australia too.
There's nothing like Australia.
So yes, we do have a whole team to support your learning journey. So do feel free to reach out to us via our group inbox, which is hotline@tourism.australia.com. That's if we can assist you with anything, questions about Australia or your Aussie Specialist training. If we don't know the answer, we know the people who do, so we can find out for you. Now, as a very special incentive for spoiled agents today, if you register on aussiespecialist.com and complete the Introduction to Australia curriculum by February 24th, I'm giving you a month, I will send you a welcome pack, including a cuddly koala or kangaroo plush toy. I have one here right at my desk. I use his bum to clean my computer screen, functional and adorable, and a great reminder of why you should send your clients to Australia. So just email me directly on mschinkel@tourism.australia.com once you've completed the curriculum. And that is all from me. So thank you so much. And Sabrina, we should probably have a look and see how we're going on the question front.
You got me off guard. I was looking for a travel specialist to book me, but I guess I'll have to do that later. It is so fantastic. You've got so many great reactions and feedback, and we have some questions as well. So I'll let you take a breath and a sip of water, and I'll help you
Sure.
by reading those out. Some
Perfect.
fantastic questions. One just came through the chat. Now, if you have a chance, spoiled agents, help me out by throwing those into the Q&A box, as the chat tends to get buried. But I'll grab this while I can see it. What was that email address again? I guess that was the
Oh yeah, let me pop back to that
hotline one.
slide for you.
Hotline, if you can.
Yeah. So it
Or
is
maybe yours.
Yeah, mine is fine too. But if I happen to be out on leave or something, the hotline is the best one because the whole team have access to that. So you'll always get answered. So it is hotline@tourism.australia.com. And
Okay,
and
perfect.
my email is mshinkel@tourism.australia.com. But don't worry, everyone, because I will be following up with you with an email that has all these links and resources all in one spot. So when you get that Australia booking, you can pull up that email and go, oh my gosh, what did Mel say on her webinar? Where can I find that information? And you can just reach out to us as well.
Perfect. And we've thrown them all in the chat as well for you.
Perfect.
So someone is asking, when is the best time to experience Australia? Events and weather related.
Yeah. So, Deborah, that's a great question. And it's a hard one to answer because Australia is great to visit any time of the year. We do have the tropical season, which is the same as winter here in the United States. So, from that December through to February period, it can get quite warm up in the top end of the country. It can be quite tropical, a little bit of wet weather and storms. So if you want to avoid that part of the country, if your clients don't like that sort of humid weather, then I would recommend going more during our winter and our autumn periods for the hottest parts of the country, which is basically where we're going through spring and summer. But there's events all throughout the year. A popular time when a lot of events do occur is when Australians are on holidays. So that is during that summer period for Australia. So between that December through to February period, there's a lot of festivals, concerts, things going on. But each state and territory has their own website that have all of the events listed throughout the year. Victoria in particular, they have a lot of sports events, high profile sporting events throughout the year. So anytime is a good time to visit Australia. It's just about qualifying your clients on what they're wanting to see and do, and their comfort level in terms of whether they like the heat or whether they prefer cooler weather. And that's what can help you determine the best itinerary for them.
My goodness, so many options. They're so fantastic. Hi, Mel. Sue says, I have a client who wants a 3 to 8 day tour leaving from SYD mid-April. I can't find any tours that fit that bill with a reasonable budget. Can end near any airport. Do we have any tips?
That might be one we'd have to take offline, Sue. So I might reach out to you and find out a little bit more about what your client is after. And if I don't have the answers on hand, I can reach out to the team at Destination New South Wales and find out some information for you. So I'll get in touch with you one-on-one, Sue.
Okay, perfect. Next one up. Sue's on fire. I love it. Do any airlines offer a lay down seat without the cost of business class? Great question.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of for Australia, not the lay down options, no. I'm not an airline specialist, so I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I know United and Qantas offer some really lovely products. So do have a look at what they've got in terms of what would be suitable for your client if they don't want to fly economy long haul. They've got some really lovely products. Fiji Airways as well is one to keep an eye on. They just introduced a brand new flight to Canberra via Nadi. So that's a cool one if you want to include a stopover in Fiji on the way back. I would recommend to adjust to that time zone difference again. So do keep an eye on that.
Sounds dreamy. Next one is, will the recording be sent out? And that's for me. So the recording, we'll see that online. Normally we send the recordings out to anyone who was not able to make it because we know you're so busy. So if you'd like to throw your email in the question and answer box with your name, then we can send the recording out to you with pleasure. Next question, can we get a copy of the presentation?
Yeah, sure. I can send, when I follow up with everyone, I can send a download link for the presentation. That's not a problem.
Perfect. Have clients interested in a May trip, Laura says. Knowing this is not ideal for Southern tour, what area would you focus them towards? North? What 3 areas for 7-day touring? It will take them almost 2 days to get there on each end.
So 7 days, I would limit it to maybe 2 destinations, depending. It's really about qualifying what your clients want to see and do. Your first time travelers, as I mentioned, they usually want to go and see the icons of Sydney. They want to go and see Uluru in the center of the country, and they want to go to Great Barrier Reef. 7 days, you could do all of that, but you're not going to have as much time in each destination. So I would focus, because you need to fly. You can't drive. We're huge. You can get direct flights to all of those 3 locations, but you don't want to be rushing too much. So, you would want a minimum of 2 nights in each area. So 7 days could be pushing it a little bit. So I would probably limit it to 2 if they really want to go to Sydney and they really want to see the Great Barrier Reef. Maybe just do those 2 destinations first and leave the red center of Uluru for the next trip back. Maybe they'll go to Uluru and then cover off wildlife in Adelaide or on Kangaroo Island, or pop down to Tasmania as well. So definitely 7 days, I'd recommend probably 2 destinations within the country rather than 3.
Makes sense. And I have a lot of emails coming in. Now the email, we have everybody's email that's on this webinar today, thanks to Zoom, because that's how you registered. So everyone will automatically be receiving a copy of these slides. Now, if you'd like a link to the recording, that's different. Usually that comes to those who didn't show up. So I just don't want to send you things you don't want, but in any case, just to clarify, you will already all receive the links from Mel. She's been kind enough to confirm that, as well as a copy that you can download of this presentation automatically. You don't have to share your email. How long do you recommend guests spend visiting the Great Barrier Reef?
Wow. I mean, there's a lot to see and do up there. I would say probably a minimum of 3 nights up at Great Barrier Reef, because you're not only going to explore the reef, you're going to go and see the Daintree rainforest as well. There's also Mosman Gorge, which is beautiful. There's quite a bit to see and do in the Cairns area. So I'd recommend no less than 3 nights, to make sure you're not rushed and that you're seeing it all. There's a lot of different ways to see the reef as well. If your clients don't want to get wet and they don't want to get in the water, they can do glass bottom boats. There's helicopter tours, semi-submersible submarines. There's so many different ways to experience the reef. The only thing I would recommend is if you do have clients that are wanting to go out to the reef, it is probably about a 45-minute boat ride out to the reef. The reef isn't right on, it's not a fringing reef, so you have to go out to the ocean to get there. And I always recommend, if your clients, even if they're unsure, just to take something for seasickness about 40 minutes before they depart, because you don't know. Sometimes it's really smooth. Sometimes it can be a little bit choppy out on the water, and you don't want their experience ruined by feeling sick before they even get there to the destination. So I always recommend to have some ginger tablets. They do have them on the vessels usually as well, or whatever that they use to tackle any potential seasickness. So it makes the day more enjoyable for them. There are options to take the boat out and helicopter back, or you can helicopter out to the reef both ways as well. So there's plenty of options.
Fantastic. Is it typical for tourists to stay in B&Bs while visiting Australia, or are hotels the more popular option?
Absolutely. There's plenty of beautiful B&B options. So yeah, it's a real combination. It's whatever your clients are most comfortable with and that fits within their budget. If you're looking for ultra luxury, do check out our Luxury Lodges of Australia collection, because they are the best of the best in terms of landscape and views of Australia. But yeah, definitely that Australia 365 website, which I'll send out a link to all of you, is a good place to have a look at some accommodation options as well.
Perfect. That's actually the next question in here. So I'll loop that all together.
Sure.
Where can you find the hotels in each destination? So that would be the place.
That's a good place to start. You can also go to each individual state and territory's website. So Destination New South Wales have a website, and they have a list of all their accommodation options there. So it's sort of like the USA that way. Each state and territory has their own offerings. But yeah, Australia 365 is a good place to start.
Okay, and Gina asks, how do I register to get access to Oz 365?
Yeah,
Australia
so yeah, it's just a website. So you just register for an account. I think it's called Join the Event, is what it says. So you'll join the event, and then you'll be able to log in and access it all from there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says.
It's a bit strange,
But it
but
sounds fun. I want to go. I
yeah,
will have
yeah.
FOMO if I don't sign
That's
up. I want to go to
right.
the event.
Yeah. So join the event to register, and then you'll be able to log in and have a poke around. You can search for suppliers and industry offers via location as well. So if you just want to be searching for places in Sydney, or offers and attractions in Sydney, you can do that.
Perfect. Next question says, I don't typically sell Sydney, but won free flights there. Gina, I can go.
What's
So
happening?
will you be going at the end? So I will be going at the end of Feb, early March. Are there any resources for discounts, travel agent rates, must-dos, hotel offers, so I can learn more and experience this amazing place in the flesh? First-time traveler, and also taking a New Zealand cruise, I guess that NZ or Z.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's
Lucky
awesome.
duck.
Yeah, jelly. I'm so jealous. That's awesome. Congratulations on that, on winning that. So the question was, yes, so Australia 365 again, that's where all the industry offers are. So a lot of those industry offers will require you to be an Aussie specialist before they'll give you the discount. So do keep that in mind. But it's well worth it. There's discounts to go and visit Taronga Zoo. There's cruises in Sydney. I think Bridge Climb have got some sort of an offer in there as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth having a look there.
Fantastic. Next question here. I became a specialist during COVID. Do I need to supplement or redo that?
You don't, once you do the Introduction to Australia course, you don't need to do it again. It hasn't been updated recently, so it still will be the same as when you did it. But you do need to make sure you log into your account at least once a year. Otherwise, your account could become inactive and you'll stop receiving newsletters and familial invitations and things like that from us. It's just how the system is set up. So do go in there and make sure that you are accessing any new training that we've got. We're always bringing out brand new courses. We're about to release a new sustainability module. There's so much training in there, whether you're interested in family travel, luxury travel, wildlife. We have all those specialties in there. So once you finish that introductory course, you can go off and specialize into whatever is going to suit your client base from there. We also put all of our webinar recordings in the platform. So if you do happen to miss one of our webinars that we host, you can always watch them there and refer to them.
You've thought of everything. My goodness, I love it. What do you recommend for 3 nights in Sydney?
Well, that is really up to the client and what they want to see and do. But if I had 3 nights in Sydney, I would definitely be doing the bridge climb. It's amazing up on Sydney Harbour Bridge. They have a fantastic tour that is led by Indigenous Australians. So that gives you an awesome perspective on the history of Sydney over that amazing view from the Aboriginal Australians' perspective, and how the city has evolved over so many hundreds of years with their culture. So bridge climb, I'd recommend. It's not as scary as you think. It's really fun. The scariest part is getting into the overalls because they're not very attractive, but they serve a purpose. You are not falling, you are strapped to the bridge, so you're not going anywhere, and it's an amazing views of the city. I would recommend, if you can, see a show at the Sydney Opera House or do the behind the scenes tour. It's a phenomenal architectural structure, and there's just so much history, and it's just a stunning building. There's a brilliant bar called Opera Bar. You can have some drinks there as well and some food. Taronga Zoo, if you want to see some wildlife, but you don't have enough time to get out to some of those wildlife hotspots I mentioned, I recommend catching the ferry from Circular Quay to go over to Taronga Zoo. You will see all the Australian wildlife you could possibly want to see over there. They have wildlife encounters as well, so you can get up and close and you can touch a koala if you want to. They also have this amazing wildlife lodge. You can stay at the zoo and wake up to koalas, out your window, and echidnas, kangaroos just scurrying around. It's a great view. So I would recommend that. Of course, you need to visit Bondi Beach as well. So I'd recommend taking a surf lesson with Let's Go Surfing. They do some great surfing lessons there right on Bondi Beach. So, that's pretty jam-packed couple of days in Sydney. If you get a chance, definitely get out to the Blue Mountains as well. That would probably take up a day. But there are plenty of operators that will do day trips out to the Blue Mountains because it is absolutely stunning.
Fantastic. We had another question come in about Sydney. So 2 in 1. Well done. Okay, lots of requests for the recording.
Sure.
We also have a question. What is the name of the park recommended doing as part of the GBR visit?
Oh, the park, Daintree National Rainforest. Is that
Potentially.
the name of the park she recommends doing as part? Oh yeah, so that'd be Daintree National Park. So that's the Daintree Rainforest. It's one of the oldest rainforests on the planet.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. And there's some great options that you can do touring there. So definitely check that out.
Fantastic. Okay, how do you feel about the cruise option? Does Aussie Specialist course cover this option?
Yeah, so we earlier, it might have been mid last year, we launched a module that is all about cruising in Australia. So we do have a course about cruise. So once you complete that introductory course, you'll have access to go and do that cruise course as well. So that'll be very, very useful for you, Andrea.
Right. And I think we have just one more here on Facebook. Will you put all the links on Spoiled Agent too? Okay, that's for me. Hopefully in the future we will. We'll be in conversation to hopefully partner because this is such a great fit, of course. We wanted to start with a webinar, but what a great fit to be able to share such fantastic information about such a formidable destination, really.
Absolutely.
And I think that those are all our questions. The rest are emails and then the direct.
Great.
Oh, I have one more from Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Is there a Facebook group?
Yes, so we have a closed Facebook group for our Aussie specialists. So Cindy, once you do the course, or actually once you register, you don't even have to have completed the course. Even if you're a trainee, you can join that Facebook group. So I will send a link for that as well. So all you need to do is request to join the group, provide your email address so we can go in the back end and just check that you are part of the group, and then we'll admit you in. So we share lots of videos. We do share our webinar reminders so people don't forget. It's just a fun social space where people talk about Australia, share their videos and photos, and we do competitions just for the Facebook group as well.
Ooh, okay, that's fantastic. It sounds like you have everything an agent could want to be successful, to create amazing return clients and fantastic life experiences.
Absolutely, we try. We're always coming up with new ideas. So yes, anything that can potentially help advisors, do feel free to reach out to me and give those suggestions as well.
Fantastic. Okay, I want to see in our Facebook group all the selfies with this beautiful koala toy. Okay,
Yes,
it's a multi-use screen cleaner. Make your family member, anybody old or young, happy with such a cute stuffy, and you're going to be an expert in such a phenomenal destination. I thank you so much, Mel. This was such an informative and lovely session, and I'll let you give any final words you'd like to do.
That's it from me. Look, I'm just so glad to have been able to connect with all the spoiled agents today. Wonderful questions, love the engagement, and I will reach out to you all so you have my contact right there on file when you get those bookings to Australia, because when you do, all the questions are going to come very fast and quick, and I'll do whatever I can to help you secure that booking.
They're going to be specialists, so they're going to know a lot already.
That's right.
Yay. Okay. Well, thank you so very much, Mel. We hope to host you again soon. And thanks all the spoiled agents for tuning in. And we wish you a fabulous rest of your day.
Perfect.
Bye for
Cheers.
now.
Make sure you come and say good day, everyone.
Bye.